Let's talk a little bit more Halo as well as some Call of Duty kind of mixed in. First of all, there is this. There was a screenshot going around that apparently there was a Halo crossover in Call of Duty that got canceled. It was for MW3, and I think a Halo crossover in Call of Duty, now that they're all part of Xbox and Microsoft, should be an absolute no-brainer. So I hope this does come to Black Ops 6 at some point in the future. But there was this screenshot going around, and it looked pretty cool because you kind of see what they were going for. You can see here the unlockables. You had a Master Chief skin, you had assault rifle, plasma sword, as well as that looks like the Scorpion tank there. So super cool to bring that over to Call of Duty. I mean, Call of Duty has all of these crazy skins. I'm not a big fan of all of the insane skins and celebrities that they do put in the game, but I think Halo and Master Chief is an absolute no-brainer. Obviously, even now with the fact that Xbox owns Call of Duty, and I think just overall with the amount of IPs, even like Doom and stuff with Call of Duty, just it all makes a ton of sense. So hopefully they do bring this over, but apparently this was scrapped here for MW3 for completely unknown reasons. And maybe they're holding this back here for Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I would say that may be the question here. If they've already developed the assets and everything, and they're kind of ready to just launch this, I'm sure that's something that they would consider. So hopefully that does happen. But it's cool to see that that was actually an idea that they were thinking about. Now, Halo, as we know, had a battle royale mode that was in development. And I believe now it is no longer in development. It was in with certain affinity. They were working on this. We have some more comments here on what this game could have been. Apparently it could have been game changing. Now, to be fair, this comes from a previous employee who now works at actually Raven Software as the design director. And they've mentioned that the unannounced Halo Battle Royale mode in the LinkedIn profile, basically saying this could have been a game changer. They say, I led a charge team of designers working on a canceled Battle Royale mode for Halo. I believe this product could have been a game changer for the franchise. We loved playing it, and working on it was a fantastic experience in spite of its cancellation. So there you go. It is canceled from at least right now. Maybe they will end up bringing it back at some point. But Battle Royale in Halo is something that is an interesting discussion. I think Halo would fit perfectly for this game mode. I just don't know if at this point right now they've missed the boat. If they were to release it this year or next year or something like that, would it be as popular as taking on something like Call of Duty Warzone, which is huge, Fortnite and everything? I think it's much harder to break into that arena to get people away from the established games that they are playing. And maybe Xbox was thinking along those same lines, and that's why they decided to stop sinking resources and cost into it and cancel it overall. But maybe they will bring it back as they are moving over to Unreal Engine 5. Maybe that's one of the reasons why they canceled it, because they were building it in the Slipspace engine and they had to start moving over to Unreal Engine 5, so they didn't want to spend any more resources. I think Halo as a game with all of the features involved could make a very fun battle royale game. So we'll see maybe in the future if they do bring it back, because it being game changing, maybe it's him just pumping his own tires because he worked on it, but it does kind of have me intrigued as to potentially what the game changing moments in a Halo BR game would have meant comparatively to other BR games out there. Okay, we have some more stuff here with layoffs as well as some releases of a new retro console. But we'll start here with 007. This game we know has been in the works here with IO. Haven't seen or really heard anything about it, but we finally got some more information on it. This comes via the IO Interactive boss Hakan Abrak. Shared some news on 007 and where this game is and basically how well it is doing. Speaking with IGN, saying here that there's a lot of cool stuff coming up, and that he says, we absolutely feel like 20 plus years of training for the agent fantasy, creating an agent that travels the world and globetrotting whatnot has given us some know-how on that. But obviously James Bond is a different IP. It's a huge IP. It's not our IP. It's actually the first IP that is not our original IP from the ground up. But what's exciting about the project is that we actually got to do an original story. So it's not a gamification of a movie. It's completely beginning and becoming a story, hopefully for a big trilogy out there in the future. And equally important and exciting, it's a new Bond. It's a Bond we built from the ground up for gamers. It's extremely exciting with all the tradition and all the history there is there together to work on this together with the family of creating a young Bond for gamers, a Bond that the gamers can call their own and grow with it. So brand new Bond, brand new story, saying here that it is going very well and everything. So it looks like we hopefully we'll be seeing more of this soon. Maybe there's going to be a secret announcement here at the Game Awards or something early next year at Summer Games Fest. So that's exciting here if you are a James Bond fan. Now, Ubisoft, we know they have XDefiant. Again, games as a service, first person shooters, free to play games, hard to break into these days. We're seeing a lot of these games fail because people already have their established games, and pulling people away from those is becoming a more of a difficult task. Now, there are rumors that XDefiant has been doing so bad recently that they will be shutting it down after season 4. These rumors now have been essentially put to rest here by the executive producer Mark Rubin, who posts this here on X, saying, "To be crystal clear, there are no plans to shut down after season 4. I've literally been in meetings as of last week to discuss our year 2 plans. But right now, we are super focused on improving the technical experience, which includes netcode, and adding more content for seasons 3 and 4. We have done very little marketing, so yes, our numbers are down, but that is just to give the team time to get the game in a better place before we do bigger spends on marketing to bring new players to the game and to bring back players that have left." It continues on here to say, "All right, with that out of the way, I just want to quickly address the status of the game, i.e. is the game dying? No, the game is absolutely not dying. We know there are things we need to improve like netcode, hit rate, and adding more content to progression, but the game is doing well. We just wanted to do better. Ubisoft is very much behind us and has allocated more resources to the team in order for us to do that." So Mark Rubin puts all of these rumors to rest, whether you want to believe them or not, but I think a very convincing statement to really actually talk about the spend, the marketing, Ubisoft being behind them. We know where Ubisoft is right now. They're in kind of trouble with their stock and shareholders upset with them. So they aren't going to be taking, I think, a huge risk by giving more money to a game that they see failing. If this game was really in the gutter and nobody was playing it, I don't think they would continuously be spending more and more money on it. But we will see. I mean, XDefiant, from what I've played it, I've actually really enjoyed the game. Definitely needs improvement. Definitely a game early on that can become great. I don't think it'll compete with Call of Duty, but it doesn't really need to. It needs to just kind of carve out its own crowd and its own niche. And that's probably what they are working on here going forward. And then if they do have good marketing spend and they have some things that are enticing, it may give it a big boost here in the future.